Welcome to Public Health Brief. Doctors told us for years to avoid potatoes, but what if they were wrong? What if this simple food you eat every day is secretly one of the most powerful foods for your body? Today, we're uncovering the shocking truth about potatoes that even doctors didn't expect, and it might completely change the way you eat forever. Imagine walking into a doctor's office, expecting to hear the usual advice about food: cut the carbs, avoid starches, stay away from potatoes. For years, potatoes have been misunderstood, often blamed for weight gain, blood sugar spikes, and unhealthy eating habits. But what if everything you've heard about potatoes is only part of the story? What if the truth is something doctors themselves didn't fully expect? Let's begin with a simple question. What really happens when you eat a potato? At first glance, a potato looks ordinary. It's simple, affordable, and found almost everywhere in the world. From rural villages to modern cities, potatoes are a staple food that people rely on every day. But hidden beneath that plain appearance is something surprisingly powerful. Potatoes are not just empty carbs, as many people assume. They are packed with nutrients that your body actually needs. Inside a single potato, you'll find vitamin C, potassium, fiber, and even protein. Yes, protein. That alone surprises many people. In fact, potatoes contain more potassium than a banana, something most people never expect. Potassium plays a critical role in maintaining healthy blood pressure, supporting heart function, and helping your muscles work properly. Yet, despite this, potatoes are often pushed aside as unhealthy. So where did this bad reputation come from? The truth is, it's not really the potato itself. It's what we do to it. Think about how most people eat potatoes today. Deep-fried French fries, loaded with oil and salt. Chips packed with artificial flavors. Heavy creamy toppings like butter, cheese, and sour cream. In these forms, the potato becomes something completely different. It's no longer just a vegetable, it becomes a high-calorie, highly processed food. Doctors have long associated potatoes with these unhealthy versions, and understandably so. When someone eats fried potatoes regularly, it can lead to weight gain, high cholesterol, and increased risk of chronic diseases. But here's the surprising part: when potatoes are eaten in their natural, unprocessed form, the effect on the body can be completely different. In fact, this is where things start to get interesting, and where even some doctors have been caught off guard. There have been cases where people switched to a simple diet centered around whole, unprocessed foods, including plain potatoes, and experienced unexpected health improvements. Weight loss, better digestion, improved energy levels, and even stabilized blood sugar in some cases. These results didn't match the common belief that potatoes are harmful. Why does this happen? It comes down to something called satiety, the feeling of fullness after eating. Potatoes are one of the most filling foods you can eat. When you eat a boiled or baked potato, it satisfies your hunger quickly and keeps you full for a long time. This means you're less likely to overeat or snack unnecessarily later on. In a world where overeating is a major problem, this alone is incredibly important. Doctors studying nutrition began to notice that people who included simple, whole potatoes in their meals often consumed fewer calories overall without even trying. It wasn't about strict dieting or counting every calorie. It was about feeling satisfied naturally. But that's not all. There's another surprising aspect of potatoes that many people, including health professionals, didn't fully appreciate at first. It has to do with something called resistant starch. When potatoes are cooked and then cooled, part of their starch changes into a form that your body doesn't digest in the usual way. Instead of being quickly broken down into sugar, it acts more like fiber. It feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, supporting digestive health and improving your metabolism. This resistant starch can also help regulate blood sugar levels, making potatoes less harmful than people once believed, especially when prepared correctly. For individuals concerned about diabetes or blood sugar spikes, this discovery was eye-opening. Doctors who once warned patients to avoid potatoes completely began to reconsider their advice. It wasn't about eliminating potatoes, it was about understanding how to prepare and eat them properly. Now imagine this scenario. Two people eat potatoes every day. One eats a large portion of deep-fried fries with sugary drinks and processed meals. The other eats boiled or baked potatoes with vegetables and a balanced diet. The results in their bodies will be completely different. This is the part that changes everything. Food is not just about a single ingredient. It's about the context in which you eat it. Potatoes are not the problem. The problem is how they are often combined with unhealthy fats, excessive salt, and processed foods. When you strip away all those additions, what you're left with is a simple, nutritious food that has sustained millions of people for generations. In fact, entire populations have survived on diets where potatoes were a primary food source. And they didn't suffer from the modern health problems we see today. This raises an important question. If potatoes were truly unhealthy, how could they have supported entire societies for so long? The answer lies in simplicity. Modern diets are often overloaded with processed ingredients, hidden sugars, and unhealthy fats. In comparison, a plain potato is incredibly clean. It contains no additives, no preservatives, and no artificial ingredients. It's just food in its most natural form. And sometimes, that's exactly what the body needs. Another surprising benefit of potatoes is their effect on energy levels. Because they provide a steady source of carbohydrates, they fuel your body in a consistent way. Unlike sugary snacks that cause quick spikes and crashes, potatoes can help maintain stable energy throughout the day. This is one reason why athletes often include potatoes in their diets. They provide the fuel needed for performance without the negative effects of processed foods. For someone who is active or trying to improve their physical health, this can make a big difference. But even beyond physical health, there's something deeper here. Potatoes represent a kind of balance that many people have lost in modern eating habits. They remind us that food doesn't have to be complicated or expensive to be effective. Sometimes, the simplest foods are the most powerful. This idea challenges a lot of what people believe about nutrition. We live in a time where new diets, supplements, and superfoods are constantly being promoted. It can feel overwhelming, like you need to follow strict rules or buy expensive products to be healthy. But the truth might be much simpler than that. A basic, whole food like a potato can provide real nourishment without all the confusion. This doesn't mean potatoes are perfect or that you should eat them all the time without thinking. Like any food, balance matters. But it does mean that the fear surrounding potatoes may be exaggerated. And that's what doctors didn't expect. They didn't expect that a food often labeled as unhealthy could actually support weight management, improve digestion, and provide essential nutrients when prepared the right way. They didn't expect that something so simple could challenge such a strong belief. So what does this mean for you? It means you don't have to fear food. You don't have to eliminate everything you enjoy just to be healthy. Instead, you can focus on understanding how food works and making smarter choices about how you prepare and combine it. It also means questioning what you've been told. Not everything labeled as bad is truly bad, and not everything labeled as healthy is always good. The truth is often somewhere in the middle, waiting to be discovered. As you think about your own eating habits, consider this. Are you judging foods based on their natural state, or based on how they are commonly prepared? Are you avoiding something that might actually be beneficial, simply because of its reputation? These are the kinds of questions that can lead to real change. Because in the end, health is not about perfection. It's about understanding, balance, and consistency. It's about making choices that support your body without making your life more complicated than it needs to be. And sometimes, those choices are simpler than you think. A potato, in its pure form, is not just a side dish. It's a reminder that food can be both simple and powerful at the same time. It's proof that something ordinary can have extraordinary effects when you see it differently. So the next time you see a potato, don't just think of fries or chips. Think of the hidden potential inside it. Think of the nutrients, the energy, and the unexpected benefits that even doctors are beginning to recognize. Because the truth is, potatoes were never the enemy. They were just misunderstood. And now that you know the real story, you have the power to decide how they fit into your life. Then our conclusion and recommendation is: potatoes are not the enemy, they've simply been misunderstood. What truly matters is not just what you eat, but how you prepare and consume it. When eaten in their natural, unprocessed form, potatoes can be a valuable source of energy, essential nutrients, and long-lasting fullness that supports a healthier lifestyle. Instead of completely avoiding potatoes, the smarter approach is to make better choices. Focus on simple cooking methods like boiling or baking, and avoid excessive oils and processed toppings. By doing this, you can enjoy the benefits of potatoes without the negative effects often associated with them. The real lesson here goes beyond just one food. It's about understanding nutrition more deeply, questioning common beliefs, and making informed decisions that truly support your health. Small changes in your daily habits can lead to big results over time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more health secrets, and share this with someone who still thinks potatoes are unhealthy. And I'd love to hear from you. How do you usually eat your potatoes? Let me know in the comments below.